Recently, Call of Duty announced something called Call of Duty 2.0, and what this turned out to be is that every Call of Duty starting with Modern Warfare 2 is going to be running off the same engine, probably the MWII engine. And when Call of Duty fans heard of this, they rather were excited or kind of worried about this. And what it really came down to was if you like Infinity War games or Treyarch games more, because all the Infinity War boys were happy about this, saying finally Treyarch games are going to have some proper gunplay for once. And then the Treyarch boys were saying, no, Call of Duty's never going to see color ever again. They're all going to be gray and brown. And of course there were some other things said about this, a lot of negatives and positive things mixed in here, but it doesn't really matter what they say because that's not what engines do. Game engines don't affect gameplay, they don't affect gunplay, movement, look of the game, color of the game. It just doesn't do stuff like that. And to really prove what I'm talking about here, let me tell you guys about a different engine, and what this engine is Frostbite. This one's of course EA's engine that's used to make games like Battlefield. But what if I told you it's not only used for Battlefield? Because another game it's used to make was actually Star Wars Battlefront 2. And obviously those games are different, but maybe you say, okay, sure, they're different, but they have some similarities. They're first-person shooters. You can see maybe some same running animations, stuff like that, or whatever you may say, doesn't matter. But, you know, whatever, you can say they're similar, that's fine. But what if I told you that exact same Frostbite engine was not only used to make those games, but also FIFA, Madden, Need for Speed, and even freaking Plants vs. Zombies, guys? I don't know if you guys noticed, but I don't think those games are similar in the slightest. I mean, some are first-person shooters, some are sports games, some are racing games, and some are Plants vs. Zombies. Like, not very similar games in any way. Like, if someone told you that those games all had the same engine, you probably wouldn't believe them because you don't know what an engine is. But if you did know what an engine was, you'd be like, okay, that makes sense, because that's not what engines do. They don't decide gameplay. And what engines actually do is carry over technical features, things like lighting, physics, sound, ray tracing, and stuff like that. That is what engines do. It has very little to do with gameplay. Sure, this could affect gameplay, like the developers could just get lazy, or they'll be really crunched for time and they'll just reuse an asset that's already been in this engine before because they know it works. And you can't implement some gameplay features, like let's say if you need some sort of destruction ability in the game, if that's not on the engine, you can't do it in your game, obviously. But as long as the engine has the technology to do what you want it to do, then you could do literally so many things with the exact same engine, and Frostbite is a great example of it. And really, it's just not Frostbite. I mean, you've seen the Unreal Engine, how it's used for all of its different games too. That one's even crazier. So I don't know what else there is to say here, just that Call of Duty is going to be sharing its engine. It's not really going to affect the gameplay nearly at all. Sure, I imagine there'll be some minor things here and there. There'll be a learning curve for Treyarch to figure out how to use this engine compared to the one they've been using over the last few years, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be the end of the world. Treyarch's style isn't disappearing. Treyarch is still going to have their arcade style multiplayer. They're still going to have their zombies feeling a certain way, their sprints feeling a certain way, their colors being colorful, and all the stuff you love from Treyarch. That's not going to be affected because of them using the same engine as Infinity War. That's just not what this is, and I just wanted to clear that out because I know a lot of people are confused about Treyarch also using the same engine as Infinity Ward, and all it really is there for is just for Treyarch and Infinity Ward could more easily work together because they have the same technology. They don't have to worry about jumping from engine to engine. And honestly, this is something they should have done forever ago. EA's been doing this forever, and I think it's really worked out well for them. So I think it's just something that makes it simpler for the developers, not something we'll notice too much as players of the game. And that kind of wraps up everything. And if you guys did find this video informative in any way, shape, or form, then I would appreciate if you guys dropped a like, subscribe, bell, share, any of that great stuff. I very much appreciate it. But I'm gonna head out and I'll catch you guys in the next video, wherever the heck it may be. And laters, guys.